The Atlanta Dream are under a new regime with their new head coach, Carl Smezko. Um, got a good off season haul in terms of players that joined them during via free agency, via trades. They picked up Brianna Jones and Brittany Griner in the off season. Shatur Walker Kimbrough as well. They drafted Tahina Papa, Taylor Theory. Um, and we've seen Ryan Howard just greatly improve. She was a standout at Unrivaled this past off season as well. Things are looking good for the Atlanta Dream. You know, this is should be a season that Dream fans should be looking forward to. Um, well, it's been one of the seasons that Atlanta Dream should be looking forward to in recent years. Yeah, hopefully we can see them rely on their youth a little more. Um, that they do get those chances to play and have an impact and lean into their potential that they have. I mean, I know a player like Haley Jones who's been on this roster for a little minute, and Alex Tillman who's been on this roster for a little minute. Haven't really seen the shine, or haven't really been given the amount of opportunities that they've needed to, as both of those players were drafted with intentions, or when you see, they made it seem like they had intentions on playing through them, or them being a bigger piece of their team than they was the last couple of seasons. But hopefully, with this new coach, that they start to see those opportunities. But yeah, Tariq, what are your thoughts on this Atlanta Dream team?
Um, Higher expectations than last year, based strictly off of coaching. Hoping I have high hopes for the coaching. With Carl Smesco coming in, um, they've had some offseason moves, like you mentioned. You mentioned a few of them. They signed Mike Caldwell, Shatori Walker Kimbrough.
Mm-hmm.
They waived Letitia
Mm-hmm.
Me here, like you said. They signed Brittany Griner and Bree Jones. They signed Holly Winterburn, who they suspended contract for her injury. She's out for the season. They signed Ashley Jones. They drafted Tina Pow Taylor Theory. They signed Maria Gokdang, Amani Jefferson, and Deanna Gaston. Um, my thing for them, or one of my things for them is Ryan Howard being able to take that next step, that all WNBA type of leap, playmaking
Mm-hmm.
improvement. Just being able to play more off ball, but also being able to make plays on the ball for other players. I'm looking at Brittany Griner and Bree Jones's impact. Um, what do they bring to the table? Um, the Dream were a four seed with Cheyenne Parker um, running a lot of their post minutes a couple years ago. Obviously, that didn't go as well last year, but I think Brittany Griner and Bree Jones, even Brittany Griner at this point in her career, is better than what Cheyenne Parker was then. And I think Bree Jones is better than what Cheyenne Parker was then and has been the last few years for them. The versatility of Alicia Gray is always a huge piece for Atlanta. You
Mm-hmm.
mentioned Nas Hillman and Haley Jones. I think they have bigger roles this year. They're able to do more um, with this new head coach coming in. I think they were both penciled into specific roles, especially Haley Jones. She's been known since high school as a player that plays multiple positions, is super versatile, can do all kinds of different things on offense and defense, and did it at Stanford, won a championship doing it at Stanford, and then got to Atlanta. They drafted her for her versatility and then took that versatility away and made her be a point guard. And then didn't really play her at point guard until players were injured. So, um, and the offense was atrocious. So, or the offensive system, I should say, was atrocious. They didn't really run anything. Um,
Yeah.
I'm also looking at what Tahina may be able to bring as a point guard and shooting wise. I know Jordan Cannon's probably going to be the starter. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and Jordan Canada brings a lot defensively. I don't know how much they're expecting from her offensively, but I think they have enough offensively in the front court to not really look at her to be like, "Hey, we need you to score." I'm looking forward to seeing what the offensive system looks like with Carl Smesco at the helm. The strengths for them I have is post experience, consistency now in the front court with BG and Bree, and then Ryan and Alicia on the wing
Mm-hmm.
are probably top three in terms of guard wing duos in the league. And then wing depth. Like I mentioned, yes, they have Ryan Alicia, but they also have Shatori Walker Kimbrough. They also have Maya Caldwell. They also have Haley Jones, who can play multiple positions. Um, they have a lot of they have a lot of options. Ashley Jones is somebody that they signed as well. He has a chance of making the roster, so that's another player that can play on the wing and can shoot the ball and score the ball. Um, I think it's really all going to depend on what Carl Smesco wants to do with the roster and what he sees each player being offensively. But Nia Coffey as well. Forgot to mention her, but that's another player that can play the wing and the forward position. So um, they have a lot of depth at the wing spot and then the front court. The weaknesses for me, I would say, is just consistency at the point guard spot and then playmaking. I don't think they've had enough playmaking the
Mm-hmm.
last couple of years, and I think some of that was on Tanisha Wright. I think some of it was on just not having the right point guards that were needed for this team. And then playmaking, there hasn't been a lot of that. Um, I think Jordan Cannon is a good playmaker. I think Alicia Gray and Ron both have capabilities of being good playmakers, but we haven't seen them do that yet at a high level, at
Mm-hmm.
least, or at an elite level. And you don't have to be necessarily elite, but um, you have to be, you have to force teams to feel like you can do something different. I think when
Yeah.
Ryan has the ball, people expect her to score or try to go score. And the same with Alicia. Even though Alicia is more of a player that is scoring off of just plays that not plays that are made for her, but she scores in so many different ways that it's not like once she gets the ball, she should be looking to play make. But I do think they can put her in positions to where she could be in pick and roll type of situations and running the offense as the or like the leader of the set, not necessarily just running the offense, but starting the set and then seeing what happens out of it. Just putting her in different positions, I think, helps her and makes teams weary of what she could do. Um, so that's some things I'm looking at for them.
Yeah, definitely looking to see um more, I guess, continuity with this team. Um, as you mentioned, there was like a lot of inconsistencies and stuff with this team last year in terms of just different sets they ran or just how they looked offensively. Um, Hope to see that they clean that up this year. I think with the veteran bigs that they have and the skill set that they have as well, this team is going to be a team that's, I mean, it's like they're middle of the pack, but they're like maybe a piece or two away, you know what I'm saying, from like really stepping into that forefront or stepping up in the rankings, being like a more dangerous team than they could be, you know. Definitely looking to see Ryan Howard take a leap, as you mentioned. Been an all star for the past couple of seasons, and she definitely has superstar potential. Um, so it's just a matter of seeing how she steps into that. I think this season will be very important for her and her development and her growth, and just for like her career in general. Um, yeah, hopefully we're able to see, like I mentioned earlier, Nas Reed and not Nas Reed. Oh my gosh, Nas Hillman. See, they both spell it Naz. Nas Hillman and Haley Jones. I'm laughing because you want to laugh harder, but you containing it for the sake of the preview. But nah, I don't know. This is a team. I'm really just looking forward to see how things play out. I think this is a good position. I hope Tina Pa does make it through and makes the final roster because I feel like this is a team that she can impact right away with her skill set, with her shooting, um, and just a position for her to really learn and develop quickly because of the guard core that they have there. I think Alicia Gray's started to solidify herself as a prolific player in this league, and I think that she'll definitely be um, she'll likely be an All Star again this season. So
I think a lot of them are really excited, especially players that have been there the last couple of years. I think they're really excited about what this offense can be. Listening to different interviews, I listened to Haley Jones talk about um, how she's felt empowered playing so far in the off season. Even when um, even when Carl Smesco got the job, like he reached out to her immediately, letting her know that he sees the talent, he sees the potential that she has. And she talked about a couple of days ago how um, she was really put into a box of what kind of player she should be instead of being allowed to be the player that she's capable of being, and that's being able to play 1 through 4, um, being able to just get the ball and go and just not think too much, and just have fun playing basketball. And I think she got away from that a little bit. I think the overseas season in Australia helped that a lot. Um, I think Nas Hillman playing overseas helped a lot as well. Nas Hillman looked really good over there. Was one of the best players in the league. Um, and then we know what we're going to get from Ron, and we know what we're going to get from Alicia, Bree Jones, and NBG as well. I think it comes down to those outer players and how efficient and how easy it is um, for players like Ryan and Alicia to get their shots that they want. I think a lot of times they had to work really hard for some of the shots that they wanted. And I think hopefully in this new offense and new style of play, they're able to get easier shots more often.
yeah, I agree, man. Looking for this to be a high powered offense. Um, yeah, my fault. I'm just like blinking. I don't know why.
Yeah. I think their defense is going to have to be something that they hang their hat onto as well. Um,
Hmm.
I'm curious to see if they start BG and Bree Jones at the same time. Like if they play them together, if they're going to bring one off the bench. If they do that, that adds a lot of size and gives them an advantage down low in terms of um, rebounding, offensive rebounding, getting extra possessions and things like that. Um, it could help them defensively, it could also hurt them defensively in terms of versatility and being able to chase some of the quicker fours that are in the league. Um, I feel like they can change that on a night to night basis. Like if they're playing a smaller team and they need more versatility, they can go to Nas. Um, they can go to a Nia Coffee. But if you have, you know, if you're playing in Chicago or in New York, you can play a BG and Bree Jones together and really you know implement your own style on those teams. So there's a lot of things that the Dream have that could end up having them be a top 4 or 5 seed, or they could be 8 or 9 again. So they're probably the biggest like here team, like roller coaster of a team, roller coaster of a roster. Uh, I think a lot of teams like have a good ceiling, but their floor isn't as low um, as it should be or as people will think it is. I think for the Dream, like their ceiling could be pretty high, but their floor could be really low as well. Um, and they obviously hope that injuries aren't as big a deal as they were last year, but time will tell on those things. But all in all, I think they have a good roster. They have a good enough roster to make the playoffs. And then once you get to the playoffs, you know, you have to be ready for the moment. And sometimes it's about matchups. Sometimes it's about being prepared. They played a couple years ago. They played the Wings, got swept. Just weren't prepared in terms of coaching and strategy and things like that. Um, and then last year, I believe they played the Liberty and lost. So um,
Yeah.
no harm in losing to the team that won the championship, but um, they definitely want to put themselves in a better position for the playoffs. Because if you don't, you know, you're going to start to look at yourselves in the mirror and be like, it's been 3 4 years of this now. We haven't really made any real push or um, any real impact on this league as a core. So I'm definitely looking at Ryan and Alicia to take that step as a duo and really try to make their put their imprint on the league.
Yeah. I mean, you got former champions on the squad now. Players that have had playoff experience, so I think that's definitely going to be on their side when it comes down to it. Um, really, like I said, that's why I say this is such an important season for Ryan Howard because, like, we've seen him get there. It's like with this team. I mean, I feel like they're restarting again because they got a new head coach, but they kept a good bit of their core, or at least built around Ryan pretty well. And I think now it's like I feel as if they could make it. Like they'll be a playoff team for sure, but I feel like they'll be in that 5-6 range maybe. I know we haven't listed 7, but realistically, if like I can see them as as high as 5, maybe 6, but um, they just gotta be able to compete or step up and play to their competition at times. Um, feel as if they're able to make it past the first round, I think that's a I don't say overachievement, but I feel like that's kind of like their ceiling here. Um, and just be competitive throughout the season. So
Yeah, I agree with that.
yeah. Is there anything else you got?
No, that was everything for me.
All right, cool. Well, regardless of how the Atlanta's being played this season, we'll be covering it all here on the Multiplicity Media YouTube channel.
Appreciate y'all.